Morning to you, Stephen.
Yes, good morning to you, Priscilla. Indeed, this is at Makere Kavule NUP National Unity Platform headquarters. David Lewis Rubongoya is an advocate, he's a teacher, but above all, he's a Secretary General of National Unity Platform. Good morning to you, Lewis.
Good morning to you, Bide, and good morning to the viewers.
We saw a siege on Friday and on Saturday by military operatives here at the NUP headquarters. At least for now, for you, the viewer, I can confirm to you that there is a free entry and free exit. There is no interruption for whoever is coming in and whoever is getting out. But first things first, what went wrong? What can you tell us about the siege that happened here on Friday and Saturday?
Well, as you know, the regime sent operatives, many of whom were in military uniform, others were in civilian uniform, others were in counterterrorism uniform, and you know, all sorts of people were here in hundreds, probably thousands, because there were so many, you know, entered, they blocked the road right from Bwaise up to Mulago and wreaked havoc on these our premises. They first of all found their way through without any search warrant. They did not talk to any of us, leaders of NUP. They just came, chased away the people who were here, and invaded these premises. So I can say it was an invasion of sorts. It was criminality. And if you see what we've established so far, it was robbery, because they came and took away a lot of property belonging to the National Unity Platform. I mean, they took away money, they took away laptops, they took away computers, other kinds of computers. They took away a lot of documents. They took away our CCTV system, the internet system, and all that. So, and we are still taking stock of the other things that were taken. Maybe by the time we address the press today, we'll have further details. But you know, that did not only happen here. They raided Kamocha, our school of leadership, and did the same thing. They took away all the, you know, the branded materials, including T-shirts, umbrellas, everything that they found here. They took away membership cards and all that.
According to the statement I saw from the police, they seem to say that they were gathering evidence to use against you, the National Unity Platform.
They are devoid of shame and knowledge, because you see, if you want any evidence to prosecute a case or to, you know, investigate a matter, you come with a search warrant, and you ensure that when you're conducting your search, the owners of the premises are there. That is simple basics. Because right now, one of the things we are trying to do, and the team has already indicated some of the things that happened here, but we strongly sense, and like I said, our team was also here yesterday trying to do a sweep. There are already gadgets which they found, and they are going to continue this work today. But we know that they were probably planting some things here in these premises, and doing other illegal things, that I can say. So if you want to do an operation which you are trying to call a search, you don't do it that way. You go and get a search warrant, and you come and make sure that we are there. You tell us, this is what I've taken, we sign, and you countersign. And we've always told them that we are not criminals, we are not lawless people. We believe in the rule of law. That's what we stand for. So if they came here and said, we are here, this is a search warrant, we want to conduct a search, I can assure you we would have cooperated 100%. But what they did was criminality. They came, broke into ceilings, did what? So what kind of situation is that?
Can you confirm that on Friday and on Saturday there were no arrests made? Because I know during the prayers you held here during the week, at least some members of the National Unity Platform were arrested. But what happened on Saturday and Friday?
The problem is you're calling them arrests. These are abductions. And abductions have been going on. In fact, even on Saturday, some people were abducted. So as we speak right now, we are still looking for two of the members of the Election Management Committee. As you remember, there were 4 of them were abducted from Mpigi. Then the 2 members were released from CMI, but Jovan and one Kayabula are still missing. Achideo Chivumbi and one Smart were abducted from around Nansana. And others, we're still looking for a gentleman called Chinobe, another one called Sharif. So, and of course we've been getting reports, even in other places. The other day I was being told that in Wiyende, they raided and
so much for keeping it here on Morning at NTV. Stephen Imbido Fefeso Chibuga. For the last few minutes, we had gone off air, but we are back again. And I'm here with David Lewis Luongoya at NUP headquarters in Makere Kavule. We are talking about the siege that we saw for the last 48 hours here at the party headquarters. But before I went off air, I was asking you about the decision by members of National Resistance Movement, the members of Parliament, subscribing to NRM caucus, who sat with the president on Friday. They agreed that now the UPDF Act should be brought back to Parliament, amended, and then we could even see, according to the amendments, civilians getting back to the court martial, where we've also seen members of the NUP. Does this concern you?
Of course, like I said, first of all, our viewers must understand that this is essentially targeting us. People are opposed to the Museveni regime. You know, they are the main people that he looks at as a bigger threat to him. And because he knows that he has full control of the court martial, that's why he wants to return the military court. He wants to make sure that civilians can be tried in military courts. Because he knows that civilian courts at least have some sense of following the law. You know, if you bring ridiculous charges in a civilian court and someone has gone to law school, they are likely to dismiss these bogus charges, or they are even likely to give bail, where, you know, after assessing the circumstances, they will exercise their discretion and give bail. But General Museveni knows that the military courts operate under his command, under his order. So it's just a matter of saying, keep that one in detention for as long as Museveni wants. So that is what has happened to our comrades like Machete. You saw the Olivia Altairs being forced to plead guilty to crimes they had not committed, simply because General Museveni looks at the military court as his greatest tool of repression. That is why, like I said, in the lead up to the 2021 election, over 2,000 NUP supporters ended up before those military courts, unit disciplinary committees, divisions court martial, the general court martial in Kachiri, in Makenke, in Bombo, in here at Machindi and other places, in Gulu and other places. So Museveni sees the court martial as his last resort. And like I said, what those NRM people are doing, first of all, is unlawful. The Constitution prohibits retrospective legislation. The Constitution says you cannot legislate to overturn a decision of a court, moreover the Supreme Court. You cannot say, and if you look at the ratio disdendi, what you call the ratio or the reasoning of the court in this particular matter, it was very, very clear that what they said was civilians have no business being tried in military courts. They said that even for soldiers, there must be certain procedures, even for service offenses. And they said that even soldiers should not be tried with civil cases in military courts. As
an advocate of the High Court, you, David Lewis Luongoya, you know much better about the operations within the court. Now that they are planning to amend the Act, are we likely to see Dr. Besigye, who has now been taken to the civilian court, are we likely to see him getting back to a military court? Are we even likely to see more of the NUP members who have been, of course, previously bundled up and then taken to places where we don't know for now? I would like to see them going back to the military court.
Like I said, that is illegal, that would be unlawful, that would be unconstitutional, because you can, first of all, you cannot, once the Supreme Court has decided, you cannot legislate retrospectively. So that cannot happen. It's law. You cannot say that these people are alleged to have committed offenses the other year, but now we have amended the Constitution, therefore we can still in the new under the new law. You cannot whatsoever. But even the law itself would be unconstitutional, like I said, because you cannot legislate retrospectively.
Let's talk about the NUP foot soldiers who were here, of course, donning red belly, red attire, and some of them are even up to now still missing. We don't know where they are. So this is likely to create some fear amongst the NUP foot soldiers, because up to now, some of them don't know where their fellow members are.
Yeah, first of all, I want to talk about that issue of, you know, many people have been talking about the parade and all that. What I want to say is that there is no law in this country that says that supporters of NUP should not have a parade. What we are conducting, we were not at all involved in military drills. We are not involved in anything violating the law. Our people, we know the extent of the law. We know what the law is. Condemning the double standards. You've seen these artists who are associated with the regime putting on full military combats. And they go on stage, they go and interact with soldiers, nothing happens to them. But when NUP comes, you've seen these people belonging to PLU, to NRM and all that, they go and do drills, sometimes even with guns. But our foot soldiers, you've never seen them holding guns, conducting any military drills.
What does this all tell you about the political playing environment that we're in?
That is persecution. That is persecution, and we condemn that. The Uganda police force should be administering fair observance of law and order, or enforcement of law and order. It should be fair. It must respect all citizens. It must be just. Today, for example, I'll tell you that the women wing of the National Unity Platform had written to police. Today they were meant to march up to Parliament to deliver a petition. But we wrote a letter, the head of our women wing wrote a letter to the IGP 2 weeks back, but they did not even respond.
Is this a rehearsal?
But you saw the PLU people when they marched, and then the police said, for them they notified us in advance. So these are the double standards we are condemning in the strongest terms.
Is this a rehearsal, dress rehearsal for the season that we're entering into, this tense political season that we're going into for ahead of 2026?
Absolutely. Museveni knows that he has no support in this country. The criminal regime knows that they have lost legitimacy. If there was a free and fair election, they wouldn't even get 20%. So that is why they do these things every time we are going towards the elections. It is just the standard operating procedure. They know for sure that if they went for a free and fair election, you saw how when they took these members of the EMC, they were asking them what we are planning in Kawempe, what we are planning in the general election. What business does CMI have to do with elections and electioneering? How would they? Why would they be asking election management committee members? Why did you give this one a card? What procedures are you going to use to give out tickets and all that?
As all this happens, over the weekend we saw a man in uniform, a CDF, Command of the Defense Forces, going online, purportedly that is his account.
Yeah.
Let's believe that that is his account.
But that is his account, and you've seen him come out a number of times.
And he's saying that he's going to arrest, he's going to order for the arrest of all NUP people who are donning NUP uniform, or even put a bullet in the head of the NUP party.
Of course it is appalling. It is appalling. It is appalling. I don't even know how the people will be reading the history of Uganda. Many of us from today will be reading those tweets. I mean, you can imagine. And that is why the stage at which we are, people should no longer look at it as, I belong to this party, I belong to this party. Now this is about the soul of our nation. We are at crossroads as a country. If you can have a CDF who shamelessly goes on X and writes the kinds of things he writes, talks about slaughtering people, talks about, putting a bullet in our president's head, talks about, confirming that he was here, he came here to our offices personally and all that, then we are headed for tough times, and the people of Uganda must rise up and stop this mess. But my message, again, to General Museveni and his son is that, we have seen worse dictators. We have seen people who issued threats which are bigger in magnitude. But all of them are where they belong, the dustbin of history. So I pity him. I pity General Muhoozi, I pity General Museveni and all these dictators, tyrants. We've seen tyrants. Tyrants who controlled parts of the whole world, not just a small country called Uganda. But we have seen them come tumbling down with shame and disgrace.
Towards the end of the last year, NUP National Unity Platform had already embarked on mobilization tours, the Kunga mobilization tours. And this, for some people, what they are reading is that this is just trying to destabilize the party from going across the country. But what is on ground? What are you planning as NUP that people say that whatever is happening now is trying to destabilize your programs?
Well, first of all, I'll tell you that regardless of the persecution, we are still moving as a party. As I speak, our teams have been in Western Uganda putting up our committees. Another team is in Greater Masaka doing the same work, and we shall continue doing the work we are doing. Of course, you talk about the mobilization tours. You remember very well that the police came in and blocked them. After when we went to Wikwe, the police came and said, NUP, you can no longer do these mobilization tours. They issued a statement, and that was it. But you've been seeing General Museveni under the pretext of doing wealth creation campaigns. You've been seeing him doing campaigns and other NRM politicians. They go gather people, dress them in yellow, start endorsing General Museveni and his son and all that kind of thing. So that is all the criminality we are talking about and that we must fight as citizens of this country. But what I can confirm is that NUP is moving on. Even today we have a press conference here to tell the world that we are not phased, we are not intimidated, we are not scared. The people of Uganda, yes, the regime will kill some, it will imprison some, it will do what, but the regime needs to understand that NUP is not just a political party. NUP are not these buildings. NUP is an idea, and that idea cannot be killed. They can come and arrest anybody, they can imprison anybody, but the idea lives on. The idea of people power, the idea that we believe in as a generation will still live. So they can do all the chaos they want to do, they can kill people, they can do whatever as they've been doing. But we are moving on and we are growing stronger.
As the Secretary General of the party, leading opposition party in the country, I sometimes sit back and say, the Secretary General, who is mandated with the day-to-day operations of the party, you must be having a lot on your hands because, see it, Kawempe North is just, this week we are just going for nominations. Yeah. But also within the party, many people are trying to just for party tickets and the like. What, as the party, at organization level, what is being done now to ensure that, yes, the party stays united, but also the programs go out on the ground?
That is why I'm here this early morning. That's why our leaders are coming to continue. Because we know what we signed up for. We know that this is a struggle. That's why we call it a struggle. Right now, we don't have internet here. Our cameras are off. They took away the money that we use for operations. They took away many things here that would enable us to do our work as normal. Some of the registers and all that, but we continue moving. You know, during the 2020 and 2021 period, you saw the chaos they did here and other places, but we have continued to move and we've grown stronger. You know, the regime, one of the things they were asking the people, even Chairman Nyanzi and the EMC, they were asking them this question, that how come your people are abducted, they are tortured, they are hounded, how come these people still come? What do you give to these foot soldiers that makes them still keep coming and all that? So they don't understand. I think that's what drives General Muhoozi and his father crazy. Because they know that they have seen the kinds of crimes they have committed against us, the atrocities they have committed against us. But every day they see more people joining us. They see the movement growing. You know, they see foot soldiers everywhere. They go to Mbali and find us there. They go to Karamoja and find us there. They go to all parts of the country, Sebe and other places. So that is why they have to resort to these kinds of measures. So what I can confirm is that NUP, the People Power Movement, will continue growing strong and we shall continue doing the work that we're doing.
The man you've talked about who is going across the country doing wealth creation and mobilization tours, President Yoweri Museveni, is on the ground. And the opposition, last week you had national prayers. I know for sure that even in the previous elections, we've seen members of the opposition coming together. For example, 2015 TDA, you've had inter-party coalitions. Those platforms that bring together towards elections, you see opposition trying to get together. But towards, on the day, just a few months of the election, you see them getting apart. This time around, we saw what happened here. We see many forces, united forces of change, coming together. Is this going to be the road to 2026 that you're going to be taking so that you maybe, as you wish, and see the President General Yoweri Museveni?
Well, that is our desire, to come together with all forces of change.
And it has not yielded fruits before.
But what I want to say is that you need to understand who has been causing the disunity, who destroyed TDA. Every time you see the opposition coming together or trying to come together and then it scatters, you'll see the hand of General Museveni. You remember the allegations that came through from FDC this time round, how money came in and with an intention of making sure, first of all, they don't join NUP, but also to make sure they disorganize NUP and all that. So for us as NUP, what I can confirm is that we are determined to unite the forces of change, not only politicians, but all Ugandans who are interested in change. We know for sure that General Museveni always invests much in ensuring that we are not united. But we hope, we pray and hope that everybody in this country, professional bodies, religious organizations, and everybody can see that where we are headed is very, very dangerous, and therefore all of us will come together and put an end to this mess and rebuild our country.
Let me take you back to last week. What happened here last week? I saw elderly people coming from Teso region. They came here, met you and other party leaders, but on their way back, it was reported that they were arrested, and later on, after some time, they were released. This is also likely to deter some people from coming here. But I've also seen a tweet from the president of FDC, Najana Nkumbi, Patrick Aboyam Riyad, that these people just came. For you, when you posted, you said they had come here and engaged you, but for him, he says they had just come to see maybe the party president or you will also help them get their cattle that was stolen.
Yeah, and that's why we're here. That's why we're here as NUP. What is wrong with that? These are people who General Museveni and his regime, first of all,
the perception out there was that these people are coming, maybe they were with the view of joining NUP.
And that's what was happening here. They actually came here to join NUP. And you'll see other steps that we're taking in the coming days. They came to join NUP, but raised serious complaints. They gave us reasons why they want to join NUP very strongly, so that NUP helps them, amplify their voices on the question of the stolen cows, on the poverty levels in their region, and other things that we discuss. Some of them, of course, I'll not talk about here. But I'll tell you that it was very, very, very shameful. It was a height of shame for this criminal regime to arrest elders, some who were 85 years of age, and you arrest them. They are actually, they are not even, they are abducted, because they were picked up from here, first taken, driven around in circles, and eventually dumped at Wandegea, where they were interrogated. Why were you coming to NUP? Why do you want to join NUP? What are you discussing with President Kyagulanyi, and all these other things that they were talking to them about? They even reached a point of telling them to parade. They wanted to parade them before journalists to say that, we had come to Kampala to see this, and then we got stranded and went to NUP. You can imagine the level of shamelessness. And I can assure you, if the pictures had not gone out of what was happening here, that was the plot of the regime. Put out videos for these elders to say, that we had come to Kampala and we got stranded. So that is a height of shamelessness, I'm telling you. So what I can confirm is that those elders that you saw, and many other people in all regions, we talk to them, and we are building a critical mass of people, the young, the old, men and women, everybody, to come together to change this our country.
This week is also so crucial for the political parties in Uganda. We are going for nominations of Kawempe North by-election. I know as NUP you have a candidate that you have already put up who will be nominated as a duly nominated candidate for Kawempe North. But I've also seen some members of NUP who are saying they are going to vie as independents. This is also a dent on your party.
Well, it's not a dent. Everybody has a right to run. But for us, our constitution is clear. If you run as an
independent, about on matters of cohesion and putting the people together.
Even in the last election, there are many people who did not get party tickets, and they decided to run as independents. The difference was that almost 90% of them later wrote to the party requesting to rejoin the party, and the NEC passed a resolution to readmit them. But this time around, I don't know what NEC will decide, but those who go as independent, you cease to be a member of NUP, and that is it. So it's a choice anybody has. If a person feels that they don't want to abide by what they agreed, you saw all of them, first of all, signed consent forms, all of them signed, made public statements, and clearly indicated that if they don't get the party ticket, they won't be running.
So you can confirm that those who are members of NUP for now, if they contest, they will not be allowed back into the party?
That's what the Constitution says. It's not me saying that. It's our Constitution. That's what it says. So they will not be members of NUP moving forward. And like I said, even in the last election, that was the position. And I've received hundreds of applications for people to be readmitted. And like I said, for the 2021, the reason why we gave that provision, because we knew that ahead of the last election, we had a very short time. Maybe there were some issues here and there. But this time around, we want to tell people, if you don't get a party ticket and you decide to go independent, then you cease to be a member of NUP. Yeah.
Let's still talk about NUP, because I know there are still some other voices within the party who are still not so loyal to the party, at least even at the level of leaders. What is at stake for now for those leaders who have, even up to now, they have the party ticket on different positions they hold, but still up to now, you don't see them here coming for those party organization, party meetings, but they also are trying to rally members to other ways.
Well, I think those people are no longer members of NUP in the sense that they have already declared their intentions. They've been fighting the party and all that. So we don't want to waste a lot of time discussing those people, because we have already said that anybody who betrays the people's cause will be punished by the people. And I can tell you that you need to wait. You'll see how the people will punish all those who have betrayed their cause.
Your final words to the viewers of Morning at NTV as we connect to West Nile.
Well, I want to appreciate all the people who are watching us. I want to continue to stand in solidarity with political prisoners, Dr. Kiza Besje, Hajobeda Lutale, the NUP political prisoners who are stuck at Chitalia, the missing persons, and all these people who are being hounded left, right, and center by the criminal regime. Stay strong. We shall overcome. We want to ask our people to remain strong and join NUP, join the forces of change. Let us change this country together.
Thank you so much, David Lewis Lubongoya, the Secretary General of National Unity Platform. As he has said, at 10 a.m. there will be a press conference. Of course, we shall be bringing you whatever happens here from the press conference and our subsequent bulletins. But now, let me connect you to Baguma Rashul Adidi from West Nile to let us know what is happening.